I'm taking over your show. You ain't gonna bring me out?
Put the phone down.
I'm just down.
Sir. You don't have to have thousands of people following you. It's really getting your message out, the message that you're passionate about, and if it can reach one person, that's truly all that matters. Welcome back to a Good Conversation, the podcast with Melanie Marie. Today, we are continuing our 4-part series on WTF Happened to 2020. If you are new to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications on. If you are not new to this channel and you enjoyed last week's episode, welcome back for another one. Today, I have with me Michael, aka
Yo man, your love, your beautiful, your oxygen. My name is Mike Jaxx. You can follow me at Mike Jaxx, MikeJaxx on IG. Yeah, I used to do.
Okay, so what we not gonna do is take over my show.
No, I was just giving myself a proper introduction.
I need you to give me I gave them your introduction.
You just said, "That's him over there. That's that guy. Him." No.
I'll put his link for his YouTube page in the description box below. Picking up on our conversation, obviously when we ended 2019 or when you end any year, you have kind of like an idea of what you want the next year to look like, or you always plan, and then you know things just didn't happen how everybody planned it to happen.
Hell no. I'm gonna say this, man.
What's that?
This year, by far, out of my 32 years, I'm not even gonna cap, has been one of the craziest, most unpredictable. Still kind of learning how to self-love. At the same, no, seriously, learning how to accept yourself in the midst of a fucking pandemic. Waking up every day, you know, however anybody have to live their life out there. If you go to work, whatever. We shell shocked. There's PTSD happening like all over the world right now. You can't touch surfaces. You can't do shit.
Yeah, I know. Like when kids like going to this like kids and stuff, it's like stop touching it.
You can't. Yeah, like your regular everyday life got like this fucking cloud over it right now. It's just Corona.
It's Corona.
It's Corona. I'm trying to figure out if I should get this vaccine or not.
No. That's just my personal opinion. No.
You don't want the COVID vaccine?
No. For what?
What?
Why would you do that?
They said it's made with good cyanide and peanut butters, and
no,
they got good stuff in there.
No, ain't no vaccines around here. No, we're good. That's not happening. So I mean, to each his own. But for me, it's like they really out here pushing it to black folks. They out here like, you know, it was a black person on the team. And she was leading the way and helping develop it. It's great. Yeah. And my African brothers and sisters of America, we'd like for you to take it first.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I mean, because you know, we the population that sit here and let shit sit for a minute to see if it's cool. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so like this, fancy. Like everybody and the craze over, you know, like PS5s and Xboxes and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the real niggas who actually just say, you know what, I'm finna get the shit legit from Walmart, not buying it from somebody. They like, man, I'm gonna let that shit, you know, I'm gonna let it sit out and do what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Whoever buy it first, they gonna be the ones with the bugs and oh, I gotta return this back.
So you basically saying they use black people as guinea pigs?
Yes, that's what it's always been like. It's been like that since day one. Some of us like that.
Bigger than that though. I think it's more like, honestly, it's on a whole different level.
You gotta sell us, and that's what they think they gonna do.
I mean, I think that they think they're gonna sell America, but it's just weird to me how they just targeting like black folks when they're like coming out with all these different articles. They never said anything about like my Indian brothers and sisters, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, my Chinese or Asian, I should say, brothers and sisters. But they're like, hey,
my soul people.
Pretty much.
If you want that melanin to survive this corona, just inject you with these horse pills that we crunched up called coronavirus vaccine.
They may or may not have bleach in them. Off topic, y'all. Like, this man said he had a dream last night about the guinea pig. And I'm just, first of all, so my kids have a guinea pig and the guinea pig's name is Cardi.
You need to bring her ass out here, man.
The guinea pig's name's Cardi. So he goes, man, I had a dream about Cardi. And I'm like, Cardi B? No, not that bitch. I'm like, the guinea pig? Hell yeah, man. I'm like, so it's not weird that it's weird that you didn't have a dream like that. It wasn't Cardi B that I was referring to. He was highly offended.
Hey.
I ain't dream about that bitch. It was I'm like, the guinea pig? Yeah. I'm like, well, what happened in the dream, man? Man, she was big as fuck. She was like life size.
She was 8 feet tall, 6, 7, 8 feet tall, man. And she came through the door. We was asleep, and she came through the door, and she ducked when she came through that motherfucker. You know how you open the door.
I feel like he had the dream with like SpongeBob when the episode with Sandy was big as hell.
Hell yeah, exactly. She just got between us and went to sleep. Stretched out like one of them. Like,
why are you having dreams about the guinea pig?
I don't know, babe. I be having I sleep. Shit.
Let me get back on topic here. As a man's perspective, like for you, 2020 personally, like how did you view 2020 with us having a few weeks left?
As a music producer, DJ, whatever, you feel me? Like you have to really get up and be around people. Right. Now we sitting here social distance like a motherfucker. Motherfuckers talking about 4 to 6 months, 8 months of social distancing. We could probably be back to normal. Like,
it's like had like a thing like for entrepreneurs. So like as a DJ, as a person who does like music and you're frequently around people or have to like network and stuff like that, just having like your business just stop. Man. I mean, honestly, that's what happened like with a lot of like industries, like the restaurant industry, the airline industry, things like that.
You gotta think like this is the time when it get cold. You know what I'm saying? It's cold outside. This is when everybody going on tour. You know what I'm saying? You got the comedians, you got all that type of shit going on. It's like okay, everything's virtual. I gotta pick up my virtual ticket to this virtual show. Like that shit is crazy.
No such thing as a virtual. It's like America just really came up with shit. We just like came up with shit.
We the land of that. We the land of milk and shit.
I'm already in 2021.
Good.
Like I'm already in 2021. And that's why it's like weird because it's like I'm there. I'm probably like in like May. I'm in May. It's like
ooh, that's good.
I'm just manifesting the gap between now and May that needs to take place. Like the things that need to take place before fully having that vision come to pass. Do you like be one of those people who say, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna take this full leap of faith and I'm gonna move somewhere and I'm gonna start over from fresh, and then you hear like success stories about it, like people do that and they're successful? Or do you live in fear? Honestly, it's like I feel like it's hard to prosper or it's hard to really operate or move forward when you have fear.
It is.
But it changes your perspective on that, like when you're a parent. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a little off in itself, where it's like a lot of people, including myself, are just kind of like caught in the middle where it's like, yeah, I'm really going to start my own thing. Especially like with this year. Like this year has showed us that we don't really need a lot of the things that we need to do. Like a lot of the stuff that we do in life, going to the movies, going out to eat every Friday, date nights, doing this and that, it really is just to fill a void. And so with us having to stop this year and really step back and just sit, and it's like, wow, I really don't need to go sit down and have dinner on Friday night. I can, cook dinner and, decorate my patio with lights and make it pretty and be in my own space. So it's like, and then it makes you stop and think, like, all this other shit that we be doing, it really is a void. It's a void because you get into this cycle, you get into like, oh, I'm doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this, and then you look up and it's like 20 years later. But when you sit down and you talk to people, which I know you have, who are like entrepreneurs, who are business owners and stuff like that, and who are very successful, I'm talking like big corporations, like the way that they move, the way they think is completely different. Ain't no, let's go on date night this night. Let's go every Friday. We're going to go on date night. Every Sunday we go to bowling. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. I ain't got time for that. Like how am I supposed to get my corporation and have it floating and maintaining and being a boss if I'm filling my free time with this void called life, or like routine, I should say.
I mean, I feel like when it comes to, taking that leap of faith and like really saying like, damn, I want to do this. Like a lot of the people's success stories be real as fuck, and like you see what be on the other end of it. It's just how that's how they got there.
I think what it is too, like when you are a person that's doing that, it's also like when you work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, you have a set schedule. You have to wake up. So it's actually trying to pull that same energy that you pour into somebody else's business, into somebody else's dream, and putting it into yours. Yeah. But it's also weird because you can't feel it. You don't see any recognition. There's no instant, you know, following and things like that. People don't really support you. Speaking of people, it's definitely family. Like you don't never get no real support from people, family, friends, close associates and stuff like that, until you've made it. And then it's like, oh, now I know that person. Like, oh, this my cousin. Oh, I went to high school with that person. Oh, I used to work with that person. It's like, okay, well, you know, where were you in the beginning when I was over here trying to maintain my motivation and get somebody to share my post? You know what I'm saying? So it's also finding that passion to keep going even when it doesn't look like anything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's that slave mentality. That's that crabs in a barrel mentality. Where it's
oh, he made it out. Okay, let me see what he's doing now.
Right. Like, how can he? Because it's more like, oh, maybe I can get put on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And versus everybody saying, hey, let's come together. Like, let's win together. And shit. Honestly, I think it's so stupid how they be like having different designers and stuff like that, and they rock it before they rock a black-owned brand or a local brand. Not even necessarily have to be black. It could just be any local brand, a small business. Until one person rock it, and then next thing you know, oh, well, this lit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, if you would just start to support people and remember where you came from, if you know, speaking, if it's not a person that came with a silver spoon, just start supporting people and having that mentality that you want everybody to win. Because when you have that I want everybody to win mentality, everybody really wins. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's enough really for everybody to eat at the table. You know what I'm saying? It's just really people don't be having that the mindset of that.
Well, speaking of that, when we talked about mental health and stuff like that, since we kind of going down that route, as a man, how does dealing with the things that we've dealt with or the issues that we faced in 2020 affect your mentality different than previous years?
If anything,
like, does it make you more aware of it?
Yeah, it just feels like jail. Also, you know, I'm gonna start my grow channel.
Well, let's say something positive. Like, you literally had time to start growing. Like, we're in a legal state. So you really had time to get you a space and research, and it was able to fill the void of doing other things, like going to the movies, going to the show, and trying to really figure out, hey, what am I passionate about? And not that it's just about growing, you know, marijuana or anything like that, but like, man, I really like, you know, gardening. I really like, you know,
it's peaceful. It lets you escape. You know, it's a cool thing, like getting into gardening and marijuana and stuff like that, and really learning about the plant, not just smoking it and just being high as hell or whatever. You know, like it really just kind of
seeing like the other end of it.
You'll see, oh yeah, so and so just bought a marijuana company. Oh, okay, cool. You know, that's cool, but they not necessarily like there for the process. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really interesting. It's cool, and I really want like more of my people to kind of get into it and understand like.
Well, that kind of goes into like the whole systemic racism type thing.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole.
What would you suggest? Because we know that like going into the whole like, you know, having, say you want your people to get into it, having your people get into it, and going down the whole systemic racism, being a rabbit hole, and like why we can't do it or why we are not in the position where more can do it. What would you say to get yourself in a position to do it for people who are interested?
If anybody's interested in growing marijuana, I would say start off like in the glossary of the Marijuana Grow Bible. You know, you could just kind of understand the terminology, you know what I'm saying? Understand what the hell like your weed plant is made out of, like what you smoking, and what the difference is between some of these other, like, you know, people that so-called sell za or whatever. You know, they selling, you know, really they selling shit that's gonna fuck you up in the long run.
Right. So you're growing
like,
and it's
I'm growing 100%
organic.
natural. Yeah. Okay. I'm growing 100% natural shit. No plant growth regulators. No fucking nothing extra added. I'm gonna do like a soft launch of the YouTube, as well as probably start sending out like a mailing list of just like where you can probably get seeds or seed
like
locations.
A vendor list, like a vendor list.
Yeah,
oh, that's lit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I want to do is just kind of get people interested in understanding and following. Like, hey, okay, like if you
building your content, like your audience.
If you want to go to my YouTube and see dope weed videos with your, if you produce some music in the studio just to have some shit on the TV, cool. You know what I'm saying? Just so people could be like, oh, this is cool, And then I got beats connected to it, so
So
enjoy
for people,
yourself with it.
Basically for people like the regular folk that don't have a whole bunch of money to go get licenses and things like that, you suggest basically taking advantage of the industry. Obviously, you have to be in a legal state where you can sell a certain amount. So just starting with research first, one and two, finding out how much can you grow, like in your home that's like legal, or in a space that you have that's like legal, and then on top of that, doing the research, just starting to read, Google, take advantage of that. Being on YouTube, like finding different YouTube channels where you can, take notes and start to learn, different aspects of the industry itself. Yeah,
it took a lot, and what this year really came with a lot. Like in the beginning, we realized like we started the year off crazy as hell with Kobe passing in like January, because that was like literally at the end of January. So it's like, damn, from that to where the fuck we at now, back to December. You know what I'm saying? So in that time, in that space, I was like, yo, what can I do to be able to stay, somewhat, grounded, I guess, and just kind of, keep my shit straight, keep my mental straight, because that really helps me. Me and you, we always, try to figure out, organize some time to hang and do certain things for us as a couple. Really be wanting to go to a restaurant, go to the hotel.
I don't even like restaurants.
I do when I'm with you.
We do not go to hotels.
Yes, we
don't. So we do that. We don't go to hotels.
I hope you're joking.
We don't go to hotels, guys.
Yes, we do. A lot. Okay?
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Goddamn, we try and get away.
When we're on vacation.
Man, we got the Marriott. All right, look. Shut up. Anyway, because I know you playing. Yeah, we do. Shit. Goddamn. You so uptight, man.
I am not uptight. I'm a Virgo.
Well, it's showing right now.
Since this pandemic, the airline industry has been real ghetto.
Oh yeah.
Since the pandemic, it's been real ghetto. I've been seeing all kind of fights and ghetto-ness going on the airplanes, and it's real weird. It's like because it got so cheap, so it's like dragging everybody
to go somewhere that normally can't really afford to go somewhere.
Because they we finna risk it all at this point.
Fuck it. Hey, we out here pandemic, nigga, live up. Motherfuckers in this bitch. Yeah, we finna go to Florida. Then we gonna double back, go to Vegas. Bitch, we in Hawaii for 8 days. Yeah, no.
Hawaii's still expensive. No. It's so much shit that was just happening that was weird, and it's just like,
yeah.
It's like,
there you go. Ooh,
2020, bruh. 2020. 2020 is Samuel Jackson, the MFer. That's 2020.
Yeah.
Every time something happened,
it's some motherfucking snakes in this motherfucking year.
We got like 3 more weeks left. It's like, what's the finale? I'm really sitting here like, man, waiting for these motherfucking aliens to pop out. I'm so excited. I'm waiting all year for this shit. I feel like they gonna pop out like, get jiggy with it.
Hey, if they jiggy, fuck it. If they jiggy, I live with them. If it's a jiggy alien, Joe, and you ain't doing shit to me, Joe, and you cool, and I can respect you, and you can drive good, I fuck with you.
What if aliens don't look like aliens, but aliens look like people?
Shit's mad.
Because you gotta think about the entertainment. Okay.
Then you calling them just.
Now here's the thing. Here's a question real quick. Who the fuck was in charge of coming out with what things look like? Like, whoever said an alien looked like an alien to the point where it's like an Apple emoji? How we know aliens just don't look like other people? Because if an alien is defined as an extraterrestrial being that is not from this planet, why would you think that they look gray and tall and with buck eyes? Like, who showed you the picture to know that, unless you know them?
Because it's a good selling point.
But how how did your mind formulate that image if you've never seen an alien, if they don't exist?
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? I want to know who the fuck was the first person to write about aliens, because we need to have a conversation, and I'm not even playing.
And that nigga's dead, hun. And we might have to dig him the fuck up, but in order to get your answer.
Is he dead or is he an alien?
Hey, he might be an alien.
Because who told people what aliens look like?
He might be a dead alien. We don't know. Shit. Lovecraft Country was busting.
Oh, Lovecraft Country was amazing.
That shit was fucking fire.
It was amazing. It literally
Talk about
was
pandemic
like
shows.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like, I mean, I feel like you need to be a little lifted when you watch it. I mean, for real, like you need to be a little lifted when you watch it, and that could be a glass of wine, whatever that looks like for you.
I got some wine and Lovecraft Country, girl. I'm good. But that is.
It was a really good show. Like the first few episodes was like, okay, and I'm thinking I was trying to catch up and I guess I was trying to figure out, was it kind of like following the American Horror Story theme where it's like different, but then you kind of formulate the storyline and see what's going on. Yeah. Honestly, the whole season, like the last 3 episodes carried the whole season for me. Yeah. Like I literally was like, wow, this shit busting. I want to get to the next episode. And I figured out what was going on within the whole season just by watching the last 3 episodes, which was truly lit.
The music was awkward as fuck, cause like you would definitely have a scene in there where motherfucker get called a nigga, and the next day you know, cut scene, Gwen Stefani, I'm so
I think it was lit. I liked it.
Yeah.
They dropped a lot of gems.
Yeah.
They dropped a lot of gems, and you know what? Okay, so here's the thing. It's like 2 different ends of like movies in Hollywood, right? Where they drop. Well, we had these movies where they drop gems. And I feel like I don't know which end of the spectrum it's coming from. Is it coming from like, hey, we dropping these gems because I'm trying to wake people up and y'all need to pay attention because I'm really trying to show y'all what's really going on? Or is it like we're gonna drop these gems, but within dropping these gems, it's gonna help us keep this illusion up, because if this shit starts to happen for real, people are gonna second guess themselves because they're gonna be like, oh, you tripping, you just watch too many movies.
I feel like,
you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, you watch too many movies, so that shit can't happen for real.
That's mostly in the hands of whoever writing the screenplay. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be like, okay, if we make it look like this, we could either make a selling point or we could make a statement. You know what I'm saying?
No, but what I'm saying is, yeah, they're making a statement. So there's a statement. But how are people, like what is their motivation behind the statement is kind of what I'm trying to figure out.
To make people think and do what you're doing.
That, or is it to be like, to keep people brainwashed and be like, so when stuff really do happen, people are like, man, you tripping, like you watch too many movies.
Yeah. I mean, it could be that too. Shit. You know, I mean, that's the thing. You
I guess it depends on who the person is.
Yeah, that's what that is.
I feel like The Matrix dropped lots of gems.
Get Out, nigga.
Get Out, Us, in Lovecraft Country, of course. But then you have movies thrown in there like Goosebumps and like fucking Casper. I'm just saying, like Ghostbusters, like you got shit like that.
Yeah.
So it mixes in like real fiction shit.
It made it a brand.
But it mixes in real fiction shit with the movies that are actually dropping gems. So it's like, that's why people, when weird shit do happen, like 2020, the different things that have happened and things that people experience, they're like, man, bro, you tripping. Like, just watch too many movies because...
You know, that nigga was over there watching Star Wars, man. I can't fuck with Star Wars, man, but I know that nigga was over there watching it. It be giving people a stereotype. In which I fuck with Star Wars. A lot of people drop signs and symbols and signals and this, that, and the other. I mean, shit, look at the cover of Indigo. You just talked about that. You feel me? Like, he didn't have to do that, but he did it because, hey, it made people like...
Oh, you talking about Chris Brown?
Yeah.
Chris Brown's definitely going through like a spiritual awakening.
I had to just give her a segue to talk about Chris here. Chris Hour.
No, it's not a Chris Hour. It's just, I did not pay attention, and in doing my research, I mean, I listened to the song Indigo, and he's like, open my third eye, and he's talking about like different things, and he said something about chakras and stuff like that. So I was just like, but it's funny because like when men go through spiritual awakenings, depending on the age, depending on if they have a mentor or an elder that they look up to, like they get caught up in like the sexual, they get caught up, you know, in a different...
What, trying to fuck anything out of something?
Not like necessarily that, but when you manifesting, and it might mean manifesting a girl or whatever. And
A lot of niggas is actually
because
trying
he's literally going through his spiritual awakening, but half his album he talking about sex. So I was like, bruh, that's how he's expressing himself because he's a guy.
Okay.
Which is
okay. Well, hey, you know what?
I mean, not all guys are the same, so I ain't trying to say everybody's the same, trying to box nobody in or nothing like that. I'm just saying it took me a minute to realize he was going through a spiritual awakening because half the album is about sex. So I'm like, oh wait, I gotta catch little things in here. He's talking about chakras. He's talking about he can't drink Robitussin, like different drugs and stuff like that. And like he said he don't believe we die. He
shouldn't be drinking Robitussin.
So it's just a lot in there. Some of these rappers are like waking up and they're like trying to put, the community on or put the culture on and things like that. Yeah. A lot of them are like waking up and dropping stuff. I know NLE Choppa is definitely one of them. I really like the fact that this little boy is like, he is definitely putting people on his age. He is. Have you seen his page?
Yeah, I've seen his page. Hey, he going up. He doing his thing.
He's like meditating and stuff.
Meditating.
Eating vegan food, or I should say plant-based food.
Go crazy, brother. Shit. Go crazy. I'm not mad at it.
What we're going to do is go ahead and wrap up this conversation. What I need you guys to do is to go ahead and like, share, and give me some comments, engage with us. We'll be continuing on with this series, WTF Happened to 2020, episode 3 next. I have another guest on my show. I'm not sure who it is yet, but whoever it is, we will be vibing out for sure. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, guys. Bye. It's real, boy. Ooh, the way you make me feel, boy. I just wanna be down. But you keep acting like you don't wanna be around. Got a hold of your passion.